So we know that you were the founder of Black Founders.
Mm-hmm.
We know that you worked for the San Francisco mayor's office, or we may not know that, but now we do.
Now you do.
So how did you get involved in venture capital?
So I've been in tech for a really long time. I started in tech about 15 years ago. And I started out just building things on my own and figuring out how to make them make money. So really just bootstrapping things that I thought were interesting and just figuring out how to make it work. And I eventually moved to San Francisco in 2008. A company recruited me because they saw me building out these performance marketing campaigns, and they saw me also building out the product side of performance marketing, and they asked me to come do that here. So I moved here in 2008, worked for them for a while, for about a year or two, started this app called Speak Chic, and at the same time started Black Founders with my friends Chris Bennett and Hadia Mujahid and Nena Kuku, because we were noticing that the Black people and the Black founders that we knew in the industry just weren't that visible. It was often hard to kind of figure out who was who.
Right.
So we started that as, one, a way to build community, but then two, as a way to build up an educational resource around things that you needed to know to start a business and a venture backable business in Silicon Valley. And that really expanded across the U.S. to cities like New York and Atlanta and Austin and Chicago and HBCU campuses. So it really took off in a way that we were not necessarily expecting, but it was definitely filling a need that was in the market. And then, of course, I went into the mayor's office of civic innovation and worked on open data and worked on municipal broadband access and things like that. And as I was coming out of the mayor's office, I wanted to turn my attention back to underrepresented founders and really drill in on the funding piece of that. Okay. Because you can do all of the community building and all the education that you want to, but unless you figure out the financial piece, that's all for naught. So that's really when I came into 500 Startups and was telling them about what I was doing and how I ended up kind of on the other side of the table. I don't know that I intentionally went into it saying I want to be a venture capitalist.
Okay.
That wasn't really my intention. And I think when people do that, it's often harder to become a venture capitalist when they really want to be a venture capitalist.
That's very true.
You kind of almost end up falling into it in a lot of ways by doing a lot of things that venture capitalists tend to do, which is I was already mentoring founders and saying, oh, you should apply to 500 Startups, or you should apply to YC, or you should do this with your company. So I was already doing those things through my role at Black Founders, and then but through that, I kind of found myself having a lot of deal flow, which is kind of, the lifeblood of any good VC, and then eventually finding my way into being an actual VC.